presidency of FDU is a very special office, one held by just 9 individuals over the last 81 years. I have been fortunate enough to know them all. It's true. And Michael is indeed someone special. To preside over today's events, please welcome Interim Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Benjamin Rifkin.
I am delighted to welcome everyone here today to Fairleigh Dickinson University's Academic Convocation for the 2023-2024 academic year and the inauguration of our 9th president. Please stand for the showing of colors by the U.S. Army ROTC Pirate Battalion Color Guard and the singing of our national anthem by Florham campus student Haley DeLuna.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Haley. That was spectacular. We begin this afternoon with introductions. I would like first to introduce the president of Fairleigh Dickinson University, Michael J. Avaltroni. And of course, today he will be formally invested with the presidency in the exercises today. Also on the platform today are members of the administration, directors and deans of our colleges and schools, student, faculty, staff, and alumni leadership, and members of our Board of Trustees. We are fortunate to have with us today the following members of our Board of Trustees: Anthony Ambrosio, Stuart Krensman, Winston Lowe, Donna Del Prete Marchi, Greg Olson, Robert Puris, and Skippy Weinstein. We are especially honored today to have with us former FDU President Sheldon Drucker. We are honored today also to have with us a number of governmental representatives and elected officials, as well as prominent leaders in higher education here in New Jersey. Thank you all for joining us. Now, to begin today's convocation, it's my pleasure to introduce first the new faculty of Fairleigh Dickinson University. First, from the Maxwell Becton College of Arts and Sciences, Cara Alaimo, Franklin Bridges, Fiona Gladstone, Annalie Horton, Vania Howell, Kathleen Lyons, Eleni Milonas, and Marianne Valenti. From the Silberman College of Business, our new faculty member is Carmine Nogara. From the Lee Gildart and Oswald Haas School of Computer Sciences and Engineering, Naira Chauj, Anitha Saravana Kumar, Sourav Mukherjee, and Salma Noor. From the Peter Sammartino School of Education, Dana Baker, Frederick Engram, Catherine Manley, Brian Mooney, and Ashley Robinson. We have a new faculty member in the International School of Hospitality, Sports, and Tourism Management, and he is Anthony Minnick. Our new faculty in the Henry P. Becton School of Nursing and Allied Health are Marian Barra-Schneider, Donna Corazon, Drew Minardi, Donna Naturale, Beth Steinfield, and Caitlin Werther. Our new faculty in the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences are John Albanese, Alyssa Alessandra, Lauren Arendando, Christina Bottiglieri, Andrea Brace, Aya Gamaldelen, Jamie Farley, Tara Jenner Donaldson, Arjun Kalra, Ellen Mandel, Jenna Nels, Eric Ocheritianer, Vidya Pingale, Dania Raymond, Michelle Reslier, Tiffany Timberman, and Michael Zaki. Our new faculty in the School of Psychology and Counseling are Lisa Bracamonte, Yingyi Chang, and Melissa Slavin. Last but not least, we welcome new faculty in the School of Public and Global Affairs, Abiola Adeniyi, Amir Mohsen Bejat. Newly tenured faculty have been approved and recognized by our academic leaders and the Board of Trustees. The names of those newly tenured appear in today's program. The pathway to tenure is neither short nor easy, and I commend these faculty for their commitment and their incredible work and encourage them to continue along in their disciplines. Please stand if you're here and be recognized. Newly tenured faculty. And now we turn to the presentation of recipients of the 2023 Distinguished Faculty Awards. These faculty are being honored for excellence and their outstanding contributions to the university. To present the first award, I invite Janet Boyd, Interim Dean of the Maxwell Becton College of Arts and Sciences, to the podium.
The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship is Gloria Pastorino. Gloria Pastorino is professor of Italian and French. You said that you found the academic home you wanted at FDU, a community where you could balance your passion for teaching with your love for research. That choice remains our good fortune. Your brilliant achievements in research, scholarship, and teaching have earned the praise and esteem of colleagues here and worldwide, and opened new doors of learning for our students. Your colleagues describe you with palpable awe, your deep professional expertise and transdisciplinary knowledge, which is informed by your experiences in theater and your diverse interests in cultural studies. Your insights and connections have established you as a fascinating, renowned, and prolific scholar in the fields of language, world literature, and theater and film studies. You've been described as a relentless intellect whose work reflects a joyful and kinetic enthusiasm. No subject is off limits, be it Italian theater and cinema, Shakespeare and zombies, masculinity and the mafia, migration and poetry, or art and medicine. Your commitment to scholarly research and discourse are evident in the books, textbooks, journal articles, and reviews you've written, and in the more than 80 conferences and scholarly presentations you've made or organized over 11 years. You even have an app. Since joining our faculty, you become an enviable legacy in the making. Today, we celebrate your many gifts and contributions to advancing knowledge with our Distinguished Faculty Award for Research and Scholarship.
I would like to thank all deans, past and present, for always granting me research release time and money to go to my 100+ conferences to pursue my research interests. I believe that it is by producing original work that the full impact of the humanities can be felt in the classroom, which is where it matters. So I will keep publishing in the name of FDU. Thank you.
I'm one of those former deans. And now I would like to ask Jim Almeida, Dean of the Silberman College of Business, to present the next award.
The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Service is Karen Denning. Karen Denning, Professor of Finance, Chair of the Department of Economics, Finance, and International Business. Faculty service is essential to every university's operation and well-being, and integral to its future vitality and direction. Throughout your 2 decades at FDU, you have served with dedication and distinction in virtually every area of faculty service, from administration and governance to curricular development and advisement. You have advocated a student-first philosophy from the start of your career, working hard to anticipate, identify, and respond to student needs. As department chair, a position that you have held since 2016, you have kept a keen eye on your students while also supporting your faculty, engaging in scholarly research, and playing a leadership role in numerous university-wide initiatives. For you, service is much more than an individual action. It advances and elevates FDU's very mission. Colleagues consistently seek your advice, your service on the Faculty Senate, where you have earned a reputation as a thoughtful leader and a voice of reason. Twice, your peers have elected you to the Senate's top leadership positions of Vice President and President. Your service truly knows no bounds. You have been an advocate for student athletes and a guiding force on Middle States committees for reaccreditation. Today, in recognition of your many contributions and devotion to your students, colleagues, and all the best that FDU represents, we present to you with the Distinguished Faculty Award for Service.
Thank you. Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed faculty and guests, I'm deeply humbled and immensely grateful to Fairleigh Dickinson for bestowing upon me the honor of this service award. It's a privilege to be recognized for my contributions when I know there are so many others who are welcome and worthy. This award is a testament to the values and the opportunities of the university. Receiving the service award is not just a personal achievement, but it's a reflection of the efforts of many people who strive to make this university what it is today. It's a reminder of giving back to our communities and striving for positive change. Fairleigh Dickinson's commitment to community service has inspired all of us to make a difference in the lives of others. I'd like to express my deepest gratitude to my faculty and staff, to my family and friends. I share this recognition with all of you. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for this service award. I'm truly blessed to be a part of this outstanding community. Thank you.
And now I ask Peter Woolley, Director of the School of Public and Global Affairs, to present the next award.
The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching is Dr. Paulette Laubish. Paulette, a new generation of public servants and public servant scholars credit your exceptional teaching skills, selfless mentoring, and personal guidance as key factors in their career success. Faculty colleagues on both our New Jersey campuses and in Vancouver embrace you as a teacher's teacher, noting the ongoing impact of your generous insights on their own teaching journeys. Your innovative approach to teaching is rooted in your deep appreciation for and understanding of the principles of andragogy, a word I practiced. Andragogy focuses on the very different learning needs of adult learners. You have championed and illuminated these unique needs throughout your tenure at FDU to assure all adult learners receive a welcoming and responsive experience. Since joining FDU in 1999, you've consistently been one of our most entrepreneurial, responsive, and productive faculty. Your work has been instrumental in the development and expansion of graduate and undergraduate programs in the School of Public and Global Affairs. You've also been at the vanguard of distance learning at FDU beginning in 2002 with the then groundbreaking use of ITV. Through your leadership today in blended and online instruction, you have generously shared your knowledge, your best practices, and strategies. Today, it is our honor to recognize you with the Distinguished Faculty Award for Teaching in recognition of your contributions in the classroom and toward advancing the public service sector.
I want to thank everyone who made this possible. Peter, who harassed me into filling out the application, the committee who made the decision to select me, my peers, my family, all of you have made this trip with me. I thank you very much.
This year, we are introducing a new award for excellence in student success and belonging. Oh, wait. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, I'm human. Thank you for that. FDU has long been known for making a personal and transformational difference for our students, and this award reflects our commitment to those values. I would like to ask our colleague, who has the same name as I do, Anastasia Rifkin, Dean of the School, no relation, Dean of the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, to present this final award.
The recipient of this year's Distinguished Faculty Award for Excellence in Student Success and Belonging is Atito Iwuchukwu. Atito, you sum up your teaching philosophy with this disarmingly simple statement. At FDU, I'm committed to the success and belonging of all my students. But that philosophy evolved from your own academic experience, where you and your pharmacy classmates received few offers of support or encouragement. Instead, there were dire warnings from the professors who taught rigorous classes designed to quickly weed out weaker students. Student success and a sense of belonging are inextricably intertwined. The research is clear that support, encouragement, and connection can strengthen student persistence and performance. You particularly seek to support students who need help navigating the hidden curriculum, the unspoken social, cultural, and institutional expectations that are critical to success but rarely explained. You are a source of welcome to pharmacy students who find themselves in the minority, be it due to ethnicity, economic background, culture, or gender orientation. A great example of your commitment to inclusion is Cooking with Dr. O, which you devised as a way to connect online with your students during the height of the pandemic. I myself picked up a few tips from that. How to wash lettuce. And more. In the classroom and out and beyond graduation, you actively engage and support students to create affinity, build friendships, and open doors. It is most appropriate that we honor you today with our first Distinguished Faculty Award for Student Success and Belonging.
I am because we are. And because we are, therefore I am. This is an African version of René Descartes' conceptualization of self, as coined by the late African philosopher James Mbiti. In this philosophy, otherwise called the Ubuntu way, a person's self-concept is honed in and through relationship with others. In that sense, I stand here today and say that I am because of the students who come into my classes with their curious, eager to learn selves and reciprocate the spirit of communal learning. I am because of my parents who were never able to complete their post-secondary education, but who went the last mile and a half for my older siblings and me, instilling in us the value of a sound education and diligence as a premise of being able to stand before kings. I am because of the two wonderful sons that God has blessed our family with. They are and will always be my first students as well as my perpetual teachers. I am because of my dear husband, Stanley Okpo, who holds a Doctor of Pharmacy himself, but who has done more than his fair share of diaper changing, housekeeping, school and game runs, holding down the home base, or our Fort Okpo, as we like to call it, through the years as I've prepped class materials, graded exams, and traveled for conferences across the country. I am because of the community of friends, both men and women, who have given of their time, their resources, and their efforts to mentor, advise, encourage, and pray for me along this career journey. I am because of our 9th president, Dr. Michael Avaltroni, who, as then Dean of the School of Pharmacy, signed off on an offer of employment and relocation expenses that allowed me to move from Nashville, Tennessee to Madison, New Jersey, to join wonderful colleagues here at FDU doing good work. Last and most of all, I reiterate the words of Paul, the famed apostle. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace toward me is not without effect. The recognition that my life and its outcomes are not solely in my hands, despite what the self-books might say, reminds me to not take myself too seriously, but rather to continue looking for multiple ways to use the gifts and talents graciously given to me to make a difference in the lives of people I come in contact with, especially those students who pass through my classrooms, the ones I am highly privileged to teach. This award and recognition is for every single one of them. Thank you.
And now, we are turning to present the awards to the our staff members who are being honored with the award called the University Pillar for their outstanding contributions to the university. I invite Hanya Ferrara, our Senior Vice President for Finance and Administration, to present these awards.
The first Pillar Award is presented to Teresa Montalbano, Assistant to the Dean, Maxwell Becton College of Arts and Sciences, Florham campus. You have served FDU in several roles since 2001, including as an administrative assistant in the MFA program in creative writing, and then for the Department of Literature, Languages, Writing, and Humanities. In 2011, you became assistant to the Dean of Becton College, where you handle many responsibilities, including overseeing faculty review on Interfolio, coordinating academic functions for the office, training administrative assistants on policies and procedures, and above all, addressing with compassion and empathy the many student concerns and questions that reach the dean's office on a daily basis. Always courteous and civil, always hardworking and a role model for all, you ensure that the college is well organized, runs efficiently, and maintains the highest standards possible. As one appreciative colleague says, I don't think there would be a Becton College without Teresa. For your many contributions, we are proud today to honor you as a pillar of FDU.
I just want to say that I'm truly honored to receive this award today, and thank you all for all the support through the years with all my friends. When I come to work in the morning, I never feel like I'm going to a job. I always feel like I'm just going to my second home with my extended family. Thank you, Jeff Wyman, for hiring me 22 years ago and for allowing this to be my forever home. Thank you.
The next Pillar Award is presented to Jennifer Quirk, Senior Associate Athletic Director for Compliance, Metropolitan Campus. Since joining FDU in 1999, you have played a critical role serving our student athletes and the entire Division I athletics department. Student athletes have important needs to stay on track with their academic studies. Coaches often require special support, and NCAA regulations demand strict vigilance. You are there in each instance, providing guidance and counsel, information, and insight. You are a passionate and caring advocate for each and every person you serve. You are also active throughout the campus and have served on many committees and help enhance the FDU experience for all student populations. You always go the extra mile and can be found during many evenings and weekends at your desk, attending events, managing programs, and supporting your FDU family. For your professionalism, integrity, and commitment, we take great pride in saluting you as a pillar of FDU.
Thank you to President Avaltroni and the committee for selecting me for this award. I am truly honored in receiving it today. As Kenny Chesney says in one of his songs, I didn't get here alone, and that is certainly true for me in standing here today. So while I could wax poetic about my experience at FDU, it's much more important to me to talk about the people I've met through this journey. I landed at FDU fresh out of graduate school and had the blessing of being guided by Ann Galino and Rich Panacucci. Rich's statement that it's the people that make up the university made me feel right at home, and it's why I've stayed at FDU for so long. Ann and Rich were nothing short of guiding lights, stars really, who helped mold me to the administrator and supervisor I am today. I'm still surprised that Anne didn't disconnect her phone, as I basically called her 20 times a day for the first year. I am forever grateful and indebted to them. To Joe Kiernan, thank you for being a champion of me and seeing potential outside of advising, and thanks for the nudging and support. To Rachel Murphy, I'm so blessed that we were able to work together and became friends. The hours of venting, planning, and working were dwarfed by the friendship and laughter we've shared. Thanks for making me stand up for myself and know my worth. To my campus colleagues, thanks for all the collaboration and for still taking my calls. To my student athletes, past, present, and future, you have always been and will always be my why. Thanks for letting me tag along on your college ride. To all the coaches, athletic staff, and graduate assistants I've been blessed to work with, thanks for the occasional headaches and frustrations, but mostly for the camaraderie and laughs. To my athletic administrative staff, specifically Kathy and Jason, Northeast Conference compliance peers, and N4A comrades, you are the best teammates, and working alongside you makes days fun. To Brad, thank you so much for granting me the trust and autonomy to guide programs and teams. We've come a long way in 5 years you've been here. And to the real MVPs, my family, my mom and dad who supported me in all I have ever done and still tolerate me taking calls and working when I'm supposedly on vacation and with them. And to my favorite humans in the world, my kiddos Brady and Cammie and my husband Brian, thanks for sharing me with FDU. You guys are by far my greatest accomplishment and joy. And happy birthday to Brian. I'm sorry I stole your day today. I will always bleed burgundy and blue. Thank you again, and go Knights.
And now, for a very special part of today's ceremony, I am honored to serve as interim provost under an extraordinary leader. Everyone who follows the president on social media knows how busy and active he is each and every day, and may I say, those days begin very early. Doing so many different things to engage with students and community members and meeting with alumni, government officials, prospective supporters, faculty, all toward the goal of building a better FDU. Seeing how hard he works and how much he cares is truly inspiring and drives all of us around him to go above and beyond what is expected to help FDU fulfill our goals and change the lives of our students. I have no doubt that with our help, he will be, already is, a very successful president, and with his leadership, our university has and will continue to have a very bright future. Of course, the main strength of any college or university lies in its faculty, and together with the president, they form a critical team. Today, I am pleased to introduce the president of FDU's Faculty Senate, Professor Patricia Malloy.
Good afternoon. Today we gather here to inaugurate and celebrate the beginning of the presidency of Dr. Michael Avaltroni. President Avaltroni is a 1999 graduate of FDU, the first graduate to serve as its president. He joined FDU in 2003 as a faculty member, and within 20 years, he has risen through the ranks of department chair, dean of School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, university provost, and now president. We believe that President Avaltroni's successful history of academic leadership makes him uniquely poised to guide FDU into the future. I first came to FDU in 2006, 1 year after the creation of YouTube, and 1 year before the iPhone smartphone became widely available. Zoom meant merely to enlarge an image or to go fast. In addition, last November, artificial intelligence chatbots like ChatGPT became easily accessible to all with an internet connection. I think everyone knows about it. I can say it out loud, ChatGPT. Okay, so even during my time at FDU, how people communicate, how people learn, and where they go for their information has gone through many, many changes. So how do we function in this changing environment and stay relevant to society? To partially answer this question, we need to go back to the roots of higher education. I want to quote past Senate President David Rosen, who stated, "First and foremost, we are a university." And the term university comes from the Latin universitas magistrorum et scholarium, which generally translates as a community of teachers and scholars. One reason I came to work at FDU was the strong foundation of teaching and scholarship that I found here in disciplines from biology to art, psychology to business. We need to continue to build on this foundation, creating a more diverse and vibrant community, including among our leaders in decision-making roles. FDU is also an integral part of higher education in New Jersey and the Northeast US. And I often meet someone who went here or knows someone who went here for undergraduate or graduate education. We have now built a global university with a presence in 3 countries. So to build on this capital, I think we must focus on the things we do best. So let's look at FDU's motto: personal, global, transformational. If we want to truly stay relevant, that last word, transformational, is everything. For a student to come away from their undergraduate or graduate degree truly transformed, I would argue that the faculty are essential to catalyze that process. There is no substitute for what we do in the classroom, and that FDU's investment in faculty members who bring a wealth of teaching skills, knowledge, and scholarship in their disciplines is required for that transformational spark. However, the faculty cannot and should not seek to transform students on their own. We need to partner with everyone who interacts with the student in any way, including staff and administration. We all need to ask ourselves, how can we foster the best learning environment for students inside and outside the classroom? If that is our focus, we will continue to be a leader in higher education globally. Our reputation will soar, and FDU will be a thriving institution long into the future. President Avaltroni himself cites his undergraduate research experience with a chemistry faculty member as transformational to him, and also in his decision to go on for an advanced chemistry degree. And wow, are we happy that he had that experience, because that investment in Michael has returned to FDU tenfold with all he has given to FDU. So congratulations, President Avaltroni. We are confident that you have the skills and dedication to lead us as we work together to realize our vision for the future of FDU.
Thank you, Patricia. I am now pleased to introduce a member of the Board of Trustees and FDU graduate, Winston Lowe.
Thank you. It gives me great pleasure to be here today in this historic moment for Fairleigh Dickinson University. When it came time to select the next president to lead this extraordinary institution, we were so fortunate because the decision could not be easier. Michael Avaltroni represents all that Fairleigh Dickinson University has stood for over the decades. He is intelligent and talented. He is innovative and entrepreneurial. He is compassionate and emphatic. He has experienced much and grown steadily in his various leadership positions. He does his homework and works as hard as possible to always be prepared. And most of all, he's passionate and tirelessly driven, committed to taking every measure possible to serve this community and transform the lives of our students as he himself was transformed as a student here at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Michael, your work during this year as president has only reinforced our faith in your leadership, and we are excited at the direction you are moving us in. With this installation today, we officially recognize and commemorate your leadership. We charge you with responsibility of guiding this institution and confer upon you the authority necessary for that task. The presidency of Fairleigh Dickinson University is a special and treasured role. As the first alumnus in the history of Fairleigh Dickinson University to serve as president, you bring to the role a unique perspective and unique experiences that will propel you forward and help enrich the legacy of this institution. I speak for the trustees, the faculty, the students, the staff, and the alumni of Fairleigh Dickinson University when I say we expect much from you. In return, we pledge our complete cooperation and support for the efforts that you will undertake. It is my honor to now bestow upon you the Medallion of Office of the President of Fairleigh Dickinson University as a sign of rank and privilege and responsibilities of your office. The center of the medallion is the university's coat of arms, backed by the colors of the university. The Mater, Forter et Suavitur, is engraved upon the shield, and around it are the words Fairleigh Dickinson University, 1942. In accepting this medallion, you accept the duties and responsibilities, as well as the rights and privileges of the university. Before the assembled representative and constituents of Fairleigh Dickinson University, our guests and the delegates of colleges, universities, learning societies, and associates, I invest you with the office of the President of Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Well, they'll certainly notice me when I go grocery shopping tonight. So. Thank you all for this extraordinary honor and for the trust that you have placed in me as we set on a path to soar together. I am truly humbled by the great people and the rich history that precede me, and I am in admiration of each of you, our Fairleigh Dickinson University family, who join me in serving this institution. I am committed with everything in my power to ensure a stronger and more sustainable path for Fairleigh Dickinson University. First and foremost, thank you to our Board of Trustees for your confidence and your guidance. Thank you to our incredible faculty and our devoted staff for your collaboration and support, exemplified by the pillars and by the recognized faculty, but by hundreds of others behind them who do this day after day with extraordinary success for our students. Thank you to our extraordinary alumni, whose success most vividly reflects the FDU story and the quality of what this institution offers. Thank you to our friends and supporters who believe in our mission, and to those joining us today from across higher education institutions throughout our state and our region. And most of all, thank you to our incredible students whose light, whose hope, and whose vast potential give us a poignant reminder of why we all do what we do. I am actually very proud to reflect on over half of my life indelibly linked to Fairleigh Dickinson University, celebrating this month 20 years as a member of the faculty and in service as an administrator, and 4 transformational years here as an undergraduate student. These years coincide with so much learning and personal transformation from all those whom I have been blessed to have as a part of my journey. Interestingly, I arrived my first time on campus not knowing a thing about FDU with my sister, who I'm honored to have here today, along with my brother-in-law and other members of our family and friends. And she taught me so many things, not the least of which was to look for certain things in embarking upon my educational journey. She guided me in the decision towards selecting FDU for my 4 life-changing undergraduate years. I returned only a few years later in 2003 to the university, often sharing with many that this was the only job I've actually ever interviewed for. Do with that what you will, I suppose. I made only one demand when I accepted my offer, which was to have someone cover my classes for 2 weeks while I got married and a couple of weeks thereafter to my wife, Jill, who's here today. We celebrate, in a couple of short weeks, 20 years of marriage, and I have been blessed to learn so much about myself through her. She has taught me sacrifice, giving up her career and many of her dreams to raise our family, to homeschool our children, and be the anchor of our home. Every opportunity I have had, every dream I've been able to pursue, has been because of the knowledge and assurance that she was the rock of stability that would keep things going while I took on a new challenge. I was going to get her jewelry, but I didn't think she wanted it. During my time here, I've had 3 children, all here today in the front row next to my wife, including my oldest, who is embarking on her own FDU journey. Ask me how that is. That's a wild ride in and of itself. But I've watched them grow up on campus, and they have taught me so much about being better as I've watched them take on life's challenges head on. I am blown away by their kindness, the grace in which they navigate the challenges of life, and the beautiful and unique spirits that they bring into the lives of those around them. They are the legacy in which I am most proud, and they continue to make me better each and every day. So many others here today and those from years past have taught me so much during my time here, from my mentors turned colleagues in the Department of Chemistry, to colleague deans and fellow administrators along the way, to the many students who have continued to keep me young in spirit as I see the joy of learning and college through them. It is for you that we find joy each morning, arriving on campus with a hope to fill the lives of others for a better tomorrow. There are many words that can be described to use Fairleigh Dickinson University, including innovative and resilient. But today I want to emphasize 3 words that I know you've already heard today that are the pillars of a Fairleigh Dickinson University education, that crystallize our special legacy and that identify what we must be as our guideposts amidst the urgent change to move forward. Since it was founded, FDU has provided an education and an experience that above all is personal, global, and transformational. For me, FDU was undoubtedly personal. I grew up in Staten Island, New York, and never dreamed of becoming a college president. Not sure I still do, but here I am. As I considered college, I came in thinking I was actually headed towards medical school. And then somehow, one lost registration postcard later, I ended up registering last and got to choose whatever courses were still open. I vividly recall freshman orientation, going through a course book with Associate Dean Betty Feely, who patiently, knowledgeably, and kindly walked me through all my options and helped me plot my initial steps. That set the tone for me from day one, and at every twist in the road, I received continued personal support and attention from faculty and staff who truly cared about me. The list of open courses that she helped me select from was short. On the list was general chemistry. Truthfully, I hated chemistry as a high school student. and I begrudgingly signed up for it my first semester here. 5 weeks into my freshman year, I was inspired by Frank Lang, professor of chemistry at Florham, interestingly, the person whose job I interviewed as he retired several years later. He asked me to participate in a research project with him. I found my passion, and I never looked back. FDU's personal approach has always been a part of our DNA, but the truth is that we can and we must do even better for students who have much different needs and many different challenges than ever before. This is why we have adopted the mantra of students first, to constantly infuse each activity with the mindset that our students are our foremost and our first priority. To succeed and be true to our mission, our focus always has to be on the individual student as the center of all we do and of every decision we make. For me, FDU was also global. This may sound very strange to many, as I went from Staten Island, New York, over the Goethals Bridge to Florham Park, down to Princeton, back to Florham Park. But FDU brought the world to me and expanded my world beyond anything I could ever imagine. My classrooms were mini melting pots as I met people from across the world and across generations, and I became connected to ideas and individuals from across countries and cultures. But most importantly, I began to think of myself as a global citizen with responsibilities and considerations that did not end at borders. I began to think of myself as someone who could extend his reach beyond any limitations and touch people's lives, paying it forward to others who can further make a difference throughout the world. The evidence of that global reach is present today as we are joined both here in New Jersey and on our live stream from our campus communities in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Roxton, England. Since our founding, Dr. Peter Sammartino felt it vital to cultivate a global mindset. This was well ahead of its time, and it remains the core of our identity. The need to prepare world citizens has never been greater. As we saw so vividly during recent years, the greatest challenges facing humanity do not stop at borders. At the same time, career opportunities span countries and cultures, so that graduates must be ready to face the challenges and embrace the opportunities of a global society. For me, finally, FDU was transformation. I came here with a certain perspective, with certain skills, and with certain limitations. At the end of a 4-year student journey, I was completely transformed. Who I was inside was altered forever. I learned a great deal about others, but immensely more about myself, about what I could do, what I could achieve, and what I wanted to contribute to my world. I have been equally fortunate to experience this transformation during my 20 years here as a member of the faculty and in the many different roles I've taken on. I've experienced it watching students arrive on campus unsure of themselves and their path forward, only to be walking across the stage at commencement on a path towards the future a few years later. But I have also been transformed listening to the stories of triumph over adversity that our students tell us about every day, watching the dedication of faculty and staff going the extra mile for our students, and being part of a culture and a community that brings out the best in every one of us. I have said it since I set foot on this campus 28 years ago. There is something uniquely special about Fairleigh Dickinson University, and I believe now, more so than I did then, that our best days are yet to come. Yet, here we are now, in the midst of the most challenging time ever to befall this institution or the industry of higher education. Colleges and universities are operating in a rapidly changing environment. Fewer students are applying to colleges. Demographic realities indicate that that number will drop more dramatically starting in 2025, and there is a declining perception that the value of a college degree is worth it, even as the evidence to the contrary grows stronger. Perhaps most significantly, there are radical changes in the way in which students live and learn, and in the needs they have and the support they require. What college was, what it is, and what it can and will be hold 3 vastly different answers, and we must look to the future before we fall into a place of irrelevance. Those institutions, including ours, who do not change and who refuse to accept the need to meet students where they are, and who refuse to honestly accept the market forces of reality and changing demand, will not just struggle, they will disappear. Our industry can be among the most resistant to change. We cannot accept that way of thinking. We must embrace change if it benefits our students. In a knowledge economy where not information is at our fingertips, it is overdue that we change our mindset from simply being purveyors of knowledge and adapt to something much different. We need to move away from transmitting facts and toward a combination of transferring knowledge, offering skills that are adaptable and transferable, applied and experiential learning, and the necessary support for whole person development. The entire well-being of the individual needs to be cultivated on our campuses. This idea of being the sage on the stage has to be replaced by an immersive, supportive community that provides what students don't always find before they come to our campus. That can mean anything and everything from emotional support to classroom instruction to even a stable place to feel at home and find security. If you believe college students are the same now as they were even a few years ago, sit down and talk to one for a few minutes. The hopes, the struggles, the expectations, the fears are eye-opening, and so we must better address the needs of learners with a new approach. Our campuses must be places that embrace failure on a road to success, that provide a safe home to be oneself and discover one's identity, and to be a place where growing up is encouraged inside a surrounding community that will be there to pick students up when they fall. The greatest skills I've learned about our supporting of our students, I've learned not from being an academic, not from being an administrator, but rather from being a supportive parent to my own children. Students must feel like they belong, like they are connected not just to an institution, but to the people around them, and they must be listened to, encouraged, respected, and treated with empathy. If we embrace our role as navigators, parental figures, coaches, and mentors, we can and will create a supportive environment where students can thrive. FDU has always been special because it has always been a place where students can find their place and their future, regardless of their past circumstances. And that is what I believe is the type of place we all wish to be a part of. Since I started in this role as interim president in January, I have talked with and met as many of you as possible. I've held town halls, invited input from faculty, staff, alumni, students, and external stakeholders, and have reviewed all of the material provided to me through working groups focusing on different areas of our strategic planning process. I thank you all for your ideas, your thought, and most of all for your care and commitment to FDU. The result of this process was a new strategic plan titled FDU Will Soar, which focuses on 6 key strategic goals, including recruiting, retaining, and graduating students, partnering with institutions and entities that can help us and enhance our offerings, encourage more people to give to our student-centered fundraising campaign entitled Students First, and to better position and communicate our special traits and accomplishments. Each of these goals are vital, and each of them need to be constant focal points for our community. We are starting the process by reimagining FDU and by providing even greater personal support, by focusing on immersive learning opportunities that provide a competitive advantage, evaluating all programs and services to see what can be done better. And I am sure that you're tired of hearing me say that we need to meet learners where they are. But what does it truly mean? It means focusing on every facet of the student experience and seeing the world through their eyes. It means supporting them in the academic, the physical, the social, and the emotional development that they come here to attain. It means offering services that work for schedules and circumstances, and it means adapting when necessary to provide the opportunity to overcome any problems that may occur on the path towards graduation and success. It is important that I share with each of you the reality of the task ahead. We must make significant changes to survive and to thrive. While this is a challenging time for higher education, I believe that Fairleigh Dickinson University will succeed for several reasons. First of all, adaptability is a trait strongly rooted in our DNA. We have always evolved to meet the needs of students, and we can and will do so once again. Second, we have a great track record of success serving diverse groups of students on and off our campuses, including pre-college learners, first-time college students, lifelong learners, and underserved populations. Our world needs institutions like FDU that have a proven track record of transforming lives, changing generational narratives, and providing critical real-world training. Most of all, though, I am confident in our future because of our people. This has been and always will be our greatest strength. Through your commitment and collaboration, we will change and lead the way to provide greater opportunities for a greater diversity of learners. I ask you today to join me in leaving a legacy. In the Broadway show Hamilton, in a quote that I have in my office here and another one at Metro, is a quote that resonates with me. What is a legacy? It is planting seeds in a garden that you don't get to see. As educators, we are used to doing this. As for every thank you note that you receive from a student, there are hundreds of others whom you invest in and never know the role you played in shaping their future. My ask today for everyone in this community is to commit yourselves to leaving this legacy and to invest with me in building a future that we don't yet know, that we may not get to see, but that we know is the utmost importance on a path towards a sustainable future. As an institution, we have defined our North Star. The path forward means focusing people and resources on the programs and priorities that best serve students. Tough decisions must be made if we are positioning ourselves for the future. We need to focus our attention and our efforts on things we can further develop with excellence. In a world where resources are scarce, we must carefully consider who we serve and align our offerings so that those we serve have the support and the services they need. It will be challenging for all of us in the short term, but it will set us up for long-term stability and prosperity. I wish I could tell you with certainty the next steps as they play out, but much of our future will not be defined by me alone or by a few people in a small group, rather by a combination of our students, partners, and stakeholders, and the community at large. My commitment to you is that we will continue to be open and transparent in our communications, and we will be focusing on assuring the preservation of our student-centered mission and our core values as an institution. As we look ahead, I want to hearken back to the wisdom of our founder, who said it was never just about spaces or buildings or having unlimited resources. Peter Sammartino described that the key ingredient was an enduring spirit of service to students and to each other. That spirit of service has been on great display this week as our students, faculty, and staff joined hands in days of service to our communities here in New Jersey and in Vancouver. And as Dr. Sammartino also wrote, if there isn't an underlying feeling of idealism, of service and companionship, then everything else is of no avail. Another one of my favorite quotes is about the importance of an absolute and unfailing commitment, and it seems particularly resonant for today. Walt Disney said, when you believe in a thing, believe in it all the way, implicitly and unquestionable. I deeply believe in Fairleigh Dickinson University, in our community, in our purpose, and I know that you all do too. But it takes more belief. It takes sweat and persistence. When asked about the secret to success, Disney also said you achieve success by working, and you keep working until the job is done and done right. I look forward to working alongside each and every one of you, and I promise and pledge with all of my being to do exactly that for this institution, for each member of this community, and for our students. And I know you will join me because I know this community well. And since becoming president, I have only gained a greater appreciation for your talent, your resolve, and your commitment. In the unity of our community lies our strength. And through our devoted student service, FDU can continue to forge an impactful presence in higher education so our graduates will continue to transform their lives and the world around them. As I felt 28 years ago when setting foot on this campus, I still believe today our best days lie ahead, and I look forward to embarking upon them with each and every one of you on the path forward. Thank you for your confidence in me. God bless you all, and God bless this wonderful university.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those words of wisdom and that inspiring message. I join everyone today in offering my warmest congratulations. You are a tremendous leader, and now I'm departing from script, and a fantastic human being. We are all very fortunate to have you lead us in this important time in our university's history. Congratulations again to our Pillar Award winners, to our Distinguished Faculty Award winners, and thank you all for attending this historic event for Fairleigh Dickinson University. The annual Academic Convocation and the inauguration of our 9th president, Michael J. Avaltroni, is now concluded.